Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and let's talk about the 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 205. Truthfully, I'm pretty excited about this chapter, and this chapter started off with a pretty interesting little cover page of the Ten Commandments in civilian clothes. And man, that is cool. I like this. I like Mons Biet looking like a badass, and derriere, yeah, those clothes look like something she would wear. Overall, it's pretty interesting, and the cover page itself has a little surprise for the ending. It kind of spoils the ending of the chapter, because if you look at the lower right hand corner, you would see Gauther right there. So that was the big spoiler, that Gauther was kind of involved in this chapter. But anyway, let's get into the chapter. The chapter just covers effectively the fight between two of the archangels and the 5 Ten Commandments that are currently present. Or is it... Yeah, it should be 5 of them, because it's Galen, Maricela, the pair, and then Fraudrin. And then I guess Gauther as the 6th is off doing his own thing. Regardless, it's just covering the fight, and there's something interesting that's going on in this little fight that's just kind of odd. Before we get there, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that the archangels seem to hold Elizabeth in some regard. From the way they're talking about it, they have Elizabeth enshrined in an ark, and they're also saying how they're the ones that should be angry. It's just very interesting. I really want to know, where exactly does Elizabeth stand in the hierarchy, because when you have lines like that, it makes you wonder. Anyway, the thing that has me really excited about this chapter is that as we're seeing the fight happen, or as we're seeing the setup and we get the full introduction, we learn about Sariel and Tarmiel. Now with Sariel, his outfit and his general look is really suspicious, right? That outfit looks reminiscent of King's. He looks, well, he's a child, so he's kind of reminiscent of King in that regard as well. And he also has like a hood contraption on his outfit. Overall, when you're looking at the stylistic choices here, it really makes you wonder, is this King somehow? Is he like a callback to King? What's going on? Because this isn't simply a design being reused. Because when we look at the guy next to him, when we look at Tarmiel, it looks like one of the heads looks like, oh man, Hauser. It looks like Hauser. But you know, it's the resemblance might just be something as simple as designs got reused. But when you're looking back at Sariel, there's the whole clothing aspect. There's a theme that's being maintained there. So I wonder, now because we have a precedent, we have a real big precedent being established here when it comes to the members of the 7 Deadly Sins, because when you look at it, we have Meliodas, we have Merlin, and we have Gauther. Those 3 for sure must have been aware of each other at the war. Those 3 for sure have those connections since the very beginning. We know Gauther is a doll. We know that Gauther has his origins in the 10 Commandments. We know he was a member of them. And we know Meliodas' connections. And we know that Merlin's father, I believe, or one of her parents was a demon that contended with the Demon King. So we know those 3 characters have a precedent. With the recent introduction of Ro, and with one of the lines that Meliodas said back during one of the tournaments, we have reason to assume that Bon was also involved, or at least a previous incarnation of him was also present during the war. And now we're having Sariel, and it'd be just very interesting if this person, or is, I guess, if this person is a reincarnation, or sorry, incarnation of King, and King's a reincarnation of him. Because when you look at it, we just don't know what exactly is triggering reincarnations. We know that Elizabeth was a goddess and she got demoted down to human, even though she maintains the goddess eye. And this is a good thing that the chapter did. We did see that the other goddess clan members have the same kind of eye being formed in their own eyes. So it's something that's not exclusive to Elizabeth. But regardless, with Sariel's introduction, now I'm really wondering, how exactly does the incarnation system work? Is it possible that this person is King in a previous incarnation? And when you see him fighting, his power is just causing destruction. So it makes you wonder, is that disaster? Might that be a use of disaster? Disaster is one of the powers that hasn't been properly defined yet. And we all remember that King got hit by his disaster power, and we still have no idea what's going to happen with that. Meliodas reflected it back at him, and we still haven't seen any result of King getting that hit into his shoulder. Anyway, the whole Sariel thing is very interesting. I'm very interested because reincarnation has been a topic that's been alluded to in the 7 Deadly Sins, and it's been confirmed with Elizabeth. But we'll really have to see where it goes from there. Now, as we're going through the chapter, I really enjoyed it too because we got to see more of the 10 Commandments. And it's interesting that we see a characterization from Mons Piet where he's apologizing to the lesser demons for not being able to save them. And Mons Piet had a really good line here. As Sariel's making a, I guess, little quip about there's only 2 left. Or he said, sorry to say there's only 2 left. Mons Piet comes up, oh, sorry to say there's only 5 left. No, overall, Mons Piet was doing pretty well. I kind of want to see him put in a bit more effort here. I really enjoyed the character. And I just enjoy his whole interaction and this whole fight. Overall, this is a really good chapter. Like, the fight choreography was pretty good. We got to see a lot of neat little things. And with Tarmiel in particular, we're now starting to see the more monstrous aspects of angels. Now, people, or at least in the West, have made up this image of angels as there being these really beautiful angelic things. And I'm really glad that now with Tarmiel, we're seeing that no, that isn't the case. Because angels aren't necessarily beautiful. At least when you look at old scriptures, they don't necessarily look as beautiful or as human convention when it comes to beauty. They don't really like live up to that kind of standard. So seeing that we're getting our first little taste of aberrant angels in Tarmiel, I'm pretty excited. I want to see if the angel clan, or sorry, the goddess clan has any angels who are, I guess, on the level of the monstrosities that angels can be depicted as. And if anyone was a fan of Bleach, Bleach did a pretty good job when it came to designing angels, because they did ultimately kind of go back to the more esoteric designs that some angels could have. Anyway, not the point. Tarmiel and Sariel, they're really introducing a lot of nice little design aspects when it comes to the 7 Deadly Sins and the world building. So with Sariel, we have the whole possibility that this might be a previous incarnation of King because of the theme that's being carried throughout the character's clothing. And then with Tarmiel, we get the idea that there might be monstrous looking angels, so to say. Now let's see what else happens in the chapter, because it's really just a giant fight. We just keep going. We see a lot of good action from the 10 Commandments. We see Galen going in and doing his thing. I really want to see them start triggering some of the commandments. I want to see that happening. I want to see Mons Piet's commandment for sure. And then at the end of the chapter, we finally go back to Nerabasta and Rudosiel, and they're just having their thing. Nerabasta clearly likes him. And then we finally get it. We see that Gauther is involved. We see Gauther is there. And that's pretty good. It's cool to see Gauther going in there, triggering this poor girl's, I guess, not even triggering, like hypnotizing her and just getting ready for some play. So it seems like they want to get the reinforcements for Heavens here, and then they want to do something with that. I'm really excited. Man, Gauther in this chapter was such a nice surprise that overall I'm excited to see what exactly they're planning. I'm just looking through the page again. There was one aspect in all this that I thought was really neat, and that's right in the page where it looks like Rudosiel came back and you see Nerabasta turning around. Before you even get to the bottom or to the second half of the page, if you looked at Nerabasta's head, you would see that she had little invasion arrow already sticking out of her head, and then it got properly shown, and then that's when we see Gauther right after. Overall, I'm very happy with this chapter. It's pretty cool. The next chapter is The Beast Roars. Who knows who's that referring to? But regardless, it's a pretty cool chapter, 7 Deadly Sins. I'm really excited about the possibility of the reincarnations being possible for King. It'd be cool if all the members of 7 Deadly Sins had some incarnate present at the war. So the ones we're missing right now, officially, I think. Bon is just a official confirmation away from being confirmed. But then we got King, we have Diane, and we have Escanor. So I'm very excited. I want to see that they're all just incarnates and they came back and now they're with Meliodas in the present timeline. It'd be neat. Anyway, guys, you know what? Let's end it there. Let's call it a day. Thanks for watching. I apologize for this video being so late, but hey, it was a cool chapter. Anyway, let me know what you thought, and until next time, I hope you have a great day.